this one, thank you for that. The Postal Service one is a good one. Voices of the Harlem Renaissance. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
It's got Arturo Schomburg. It has Anne Spencer. Got Gwen Iffel. So, yeah. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and start the workshop. All right. Welcome to our online virtual workshop. And my name is Sideh Gabreyes. I'm with the Education Department at the Museum of the African Diaspora, and I'm here with Lottie, and we're going to be leading your workshop today. If you have any questions, anything that you would like to put in the chat, Lottie would be moderating that and co-leading the workshop with me. She can do many things at once. And so, and I'm so thrilled that you've joined us for this workshop. We have workshops bi-weekly after exhibitions, and they're exhibition inspired. So if you're curious about Africa State of Mind, please go ahead, and our recorded tour is on YouTube. Go ahead and visit our YouTube page. All right, great. We're going to take a moment in solidarity with Black Lives Matter before we start. Right, as many of us are settler, immigrants, or descendants of those forcefully brought to this continent, our institutions were founded upon exclusion and erasure of the indigenous people whose land we are located. With deep respect, MoAD acknowledges that even in virtual space, our people, our work, and our network servers are on native lands, and thank the indigenous people of the Bay Area who have stewarded this land throughout generations. Great. Thanks for joining us today. If you have any questions, please add it to the chat or Q&A, and Lottie would be moderating that, and we'll answer questions as we go. Also, if you are curious about other ways of approaching this project, also we'd like to hear from you. Any thoughts that you have. This is supposed to be participatory. And if you could, oh, this is not a meeting, so that is not necessary. You don't need to mute yourself. And MoAD has zero tolerance policy when it comes to hate speech. That includes racist, homophobic, xenophobic, and other comments containing hateful words. And let's get started. All right, today's session is 45 minutes. We just did the introduction, so check on that. We're going to go through some samples of transfer work, and we're going to do the first activity, and we'll walk you through this. There is no rushing in this activity. Also, the point is not to actually finish the project, it's merely to start. You have plenty of time to actually, I encourage you to take your time with the project. And so, and then we're going to talk a little bit about image transferring, and we're going to move on to the activity number 2, which is the same activity. It just takes a little bit of time, so I would like us to have enough time. We'll do Q&A and we will close. It goes by pretty fast. So there we go. For today's project, what you will need is clear tape. So if you have packing tape, or if you have small tape, it doesn't necessarily have to be packing tape. You can use that as well. It's nice when it's clear. I do have some tinted tape that could also work. Pages from magazines, newspapers, or any print media would work. If you like the image, we'll experiment with it. If it doesn't work, oh well, we'll just move on to the next thing. And so if you have, just as you would for collages, if you could, pick images that you like. Scissors, pair of scissors, any absorbent cloth, so towels, kitchen towels, and that is because we're going to be working with water and we're near a computer. I'm assuming that you're near a computer, and so it's nice to just be able to wipe our hands in between our creative work. And if we want more images, it's just easier not to have sticky, wet fingers. And a cup of water at room temperature, just not ice water. This would work. A large bowl, a small bowl would work as well. It just depends on if you cut your images small, that small bowl would work as well, kind of like a cereal bowl. Liquid soap, we're just going to do 2 drops, 2 small drops. So we don't need a whole lot of soap for this one. You could use laundry soap if you wish, whatever liquid soap you have. If you are using a bar soap, it's going to take more time, than we have. And cutting board, that is definitely optional. It's just that I find it to be absorbent. And also, I find it to be, it gets a little bit messy. So it's nice to have a contained small area. And optional is tablespoon. And you'll see that may not be necessary at the end, but for some people, it might be easier to do that. If we have young children here, I would ask that their adults stay with them through the duration of this workshop.
You're so focused on safety. I really appreciate that today.
Thank you. All right. This is our inspiration work. And again, I really encourage you to check out our virtual tour. Letty and I just got off of our virtual tour, and it is live it's on YouTube right now and on Facebook. So you can find the recording of it. And this is one of the artists that was featured in Africa State of Mind, which is an exhibition that we had in 2019. And Rafael Barontini is an artist from Reunion. And for those of you who are curious where it is, or you know where it is, but you would like to see it again, that's where Reunion is. Just off of the coast of Madagascar. Probably not as close as it looks on the map, but which explains the black sand underneath the artwork. He brings the sand, it's the black sand that he uses from that area. But what I would like us to focus on is this artwork. It is a collaging work, it is a print work, and it's a transfer work. And also the similarity between what we're going to make and this artwork is that it's going to end up looking semi-transparent. This is one of the images that is part of his work, and one of the things is he focuses on Afrofuturism, and I encourage you again to look that up and kind of see what that's about. But this is containing this realist and surrealist work in one piece. And the painted cosmos right behind. So this is a multimedia work as well. This is when it was at MoAD, so you can see how large it was.
Yeah, it's just overwhelming, isn't it, today?
It is. It's such a large piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a large piece. So, you know, in this one, like looking at it from behind, it's that possibility, right? You can cut out any images, juxtapose any images, make anything. You can have an animal with, you know, with you can combine two animals, and then and you can put that animal in any space. And that's the freedom that collaging can give you, is that being able to move images and create images any way you want. All right, I won't say too much about the artist or the artwork, although I'm a big fan. So I would like to show you again what we need for the workshop, and we're gonna jump right into it. So I will give you a few minutes while I set up my space, and also while you gather these things. The reason you can have a bowl of water ready so that you don't need the cup of water, but don't fill up the bowl too much, because we're going to put our hands in there, and when we put our hands in there, water is going to overflow. You know, we don't want that mess. That's okay. If you have a nice area where you can afford to make a mess, that's great. I just don't have that.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. All right, we're just gonna set up. All right, Lottie, I think I'm going to
Yeah, take your
stop
time.
sharing and see. Okay.
I'm sure folks are gathering their materials as well. And like
Yeah.
we've been mentioning, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat.
All right. Lottie,
So
are you able to
cool.
see
Yes.
the work area? Great. Okay.
Oh, cool.
I collect images all the time. I collect images when I see them anywhere. I love this one. It's just kind of like it creates this visual illusion
Wow.
over here. Any images that I find, I collect. Any patterns that I find also. This is, I think, an advertisement from a magazine. One of the samples that I have made is this one. And you can see this is kind of, I don't know if you're able to see.
Yeah, that's great. Putting it in the middle, like that's great.
Yeah.
And where did you get that image, or these, like, where did you get these images that you just showed?
This one is from actually the United States Postal Service, and this is their catalog for stamps.
Excellent.
And so this was particularly really cool for me, because Voices of Harlem Renaissance and the images that you'd find in there are some of the folks that are prominent voices of the Harlem Renaissance.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks for asking that.
Yeah.
Because we do have to give credit to where we find our images sometimes.
Well, and I also just want to copy you and like get the magazines that you're getting, because they're fantastic.
Thanks. Okay, are folks ready? If you're ready, just let us know. And if you have questions at all, are there any questions, Patty?
No questions right now. Yeah, and like let folks, if you're ready to start, just go ahead and type yes into the chat. We get a couple yeses, we can get started.
Yeah.
We've had some shy attendees, I think, today.
Yeah. Kathy said yes. Okay.
Excellent. Thanks, Kathy.
Right.
Okay. All right, and Graciela, who's ready. Excellent.
Okay. Hi, Graciela. Nice to see you again. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is just I have a large packing tape, and I'll do both, because I know that not everyone would have packing tape maybe just sitting around at home. So I'll do a small one as well, just a regular Scotch tape.
Okay.
So cut out images. The first thing we're going to do is just cut out images. And it doesn't have to be, it actually helps if you have extra space around the images. I really like this one. I don't know how I'm going to do with it. I think I'm going to cut it in half.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, cut it in half so that way, it's a lot of collaging work, and you know how much I love my collaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was so cool. I wasn't expecting you to cut it in half. That's fantastic.
And maybe if I can find a human face in the middle, I can do that later. So lots of opportunities to experiment. All right. I cheated. So I have a lot of images that I've already, I mean, not many, but I have many images that I've already cut out. So I'll just wait for folks to cut out the images.
So Dave, do you have like a sort of environment that you create like while you're collaging? Like, do you put music on? Are there like essential oils going? Do you have like a sort of process for your surrounding?
I love music and listening to music. I love soul music. I love R&B, soul music. But sometimes I just want to be quiet with my work because it's so meditative, and it's just nice to just. Thanks for asking for that. I don't actually think about that, but being quiet is my most favorite, definitely.
That's good to know.
Thanks. And so what I'm going to do is cover the piece that I want. I would like to cover it. And if it's too big for my tape, what I will do is I would overlap it. So there's one of our literary heroes, Arthur Schomburg. He is also Puerto Rican. It's nice to have his image. So I'm going to overlap it just like that. And if it's not perfect, if you get air bubbles, don't worry. What I do is, this is why I actually don't have a spoon. Great. I actually don't have a spoon next to me. So I'm going to use the back of my scissors to flatten some of the bubbles. Just press it. What this does is makes it helps it adhere to the tape really well and takes out some of the bubbles. And the bubbles are actually kind of nice. They give texture to your work. So that's one with the packing tape. The second one I'm going to do with just a regular Scotch tape, the brand new one. All right. Lottie, you're right. I wish we were playing music for, as we work kind of thing. Maybe you and I can work out something like that. That would be good.
We can, figure out how to do that for next time.
That's right, technology. And so this one, it might take a while to do this one, but I take one piece at a time and then I overlap it. It's going to end up being one piece. So I will overlap. And Spencer, one of my favorite poets. Speaking of Voices of the Harlem, she's one of my favorites.
And so Dave, no rush, but whenever you can, could you push the image just up a little bit?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Sorry, I got carried away.
No, that's great.
All right, so again, just
perfect. Now we can see every little thing you do.
Yeah. And I used small one and a large one. I used a large one for this one and a small one for this one.
Okay.
So how you would, if you decide to have large pieces such as this one, just make sure you have a large bowl because we're going to soak these in the bowl of water, in a bowl of water with soap. Okay. All right. are folks doing? Any questions, any thoughts?
Yeah, no questions or thoughts. I think folks are busy
creating. That's the idea. That's great.
And we do have one question actually now. The question is, do we tape the back of the image too?
I do not. Thank you for asking that. I forgot to mention that. Just the front. So that way water can penetrate into the paper, and the pulps of the paper will come off and the image will stay. So that's a great question. Excellent. Thank you so much. Just one side.
And we have another question today. Sure. So does it matter how much tape overlaps the image?
It doesn't. It actually doesn't. You just want enough to cover your image, and just make sure that the image has overlap. You see how I have the overlap right here?
Yeah.
Are you able to see? Yeah, just so that there is an overlap of tape, so it's all covered. Okay. And there are no mistakes here. We're just curious together, and we create together here. And sometimes we even laugh about it. So you're in the right place. Okay. Okay, the next thing we know is we're going to do is put away the things that you've cut, and then bring your bowl of water. Okay, just about that much, because I'm going to put my hands in it, and again, have your handy dandy paper towel next to you. The next thing we're going to do is I have my Schomburg image. Oh yeah, and then 2 drops of soap in there. Not too much. It will be too bubbly and sticky, and so not too much soap. This is just to accelerate, loosen up the paper behind.
I see. I was going to ask what the purpose of the soap is. Yeah.
It is not required, but it definitely helps loosen up the paper behind the tape.
I see.
And we're just going to soak. You can do 2 at a time. I do prefer doing 1 or 2 at a time, and not too many images in there. I have a very large image, so I'm going to do that later with a bigger bowl. And I'm going to do another one. While that is, again, paper towel is for this purpose. While that is soaking, we're going to go back to our screen. I'm going to look at some folks, some artists that have used this method. Don't worry, we'll do the second part in just a little bit.
So Dave, do you have like a set time for how much time you let things soak?
My ideal time is 10, but then again, I'm more impatient than most people. That's why I use acrylic. Hold on just a second. Okay. So we're going to look at types of image transferring. While our artwork is soaking in water and soap, we're going to look at some types of transfer. All right. So this one is gel transfer technique. And this artist, I know a lot of you may know her, many of you may know her, and her artwork, Nijka Akuni Crosby. So what she uses is Xerox paper with gel transfer to create her artwork. And so it's acrylic gel, a gel or paint to a surface that receives the image. So whether it's wood or canvas or any other surface that you use. What we're using today is just tape transfer, which is one of the easiest ones to do. And this one, you have to let it dry completely, and you have to dampen the paper with water and sponge. It's a bit more involved than what we're doing right now. But that's one example. The second example is, do you remember this artist, this artist, Lottie? Andrea
No.
Chung from last exhibition?
Oh my goodness. This is, yeah.
It's different from the work that we visited last time, but she uses cyanotype. And so what that is ultraviolet light, and the material, the print material, is sensitized with a solution. It's a chemical. So you know the blueprint. When people say blueprint, this is the material that they use, and the exposure is with ultraviolet light, which is from sunlight. You can buy these sheets in many art places. You can buy these sheets, and it's a lot of fun. You can do it at home, especially if you have enough light exposure. The last one is, I know, Podge. If you've used it before, it's also called the decal technique. It's one of the most well-known craft supplies, and you can use it for photo and print images using laser printer onto regular paper, and then you can kind of lather the Mod Podge on top of it, and it helps transfer the image onto, again, wood or other materials that you have. So folks, this is to spark your curiosity. So the resources are endless online, so you can go and see how you can use Mod Podge for transfer work. Yeah, are there any questions at all?
Not right now.
Okay, I think we're ready for part 2 then.
Right.
All right. Oh, by the way, I just want to show you this one. So this is a transfer work that I did with my friends, and it's
wow,
our transferred images just slapped on a window. So you can put them on glass. You can put them on the back of, my favorite one was what I used to have was in the back of my my phone case.
Oh, wow.
So you can put them on anything that you would like to be transparent. So this is one of the ones that I've done.
Excellent. And does it leave behind any sort of like wild residue or?
You know, it does, but it's just soap and paper. If anything, it's just water, soap, and paper, so it's easy to clean with Windex.
Cool.
And then the one that you see here on this slide, the one with the owl, is another one that I have made. And so there are so many possibilities for this. Okay. All right, let's see. So I'm going to go back to my workstation now.
Great.
Okay, I'm going to go back to my workstation. Bear with me. Great. Look at that. It's been soaking in there for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub the pulp of the paper from the back, kind of like that. Oh, my tape didn't stay on this one. That happens. But you see it just falling off.
Okay.
Just like that. And I soak it just a little bit. If it becomes too hard, let it soak and try the other piece.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then you're dabbing it in the bowl.
You can,
okay.
yeah, yes, there you go. Okay, it's starting to, see how it's starting to kind of peel off.
That happens so much more quickly than I expected.
Yeah, and if you soak it even longer, sometimes you see this white residue kind of thing in the back. You don't have to struggle with it too much. So you see this is a transparent. You can see it from both sides.
Wow.
It is now transferred. And then I just put that on the cutting board. Yep. And then the second piece, which was on a large piece of tape.
What does it feel like as you're doing that?
It's so much fun because it's nice for sensory, just kind of, I don't know, thank you for that question. I don't know how to describe the feeling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like noodles or something like that. So that's what the paper feels like. Not that I have put my fingers in a bowl of noodles before. But, and this is chemical free, and if you use natural soap also, or you don't have to use soap if for some reason that you prefer not, you don't have to use soap.
Okay, so it would still transfer. And
yeah, this is fully transferred.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I'm going to put that next here. Paper towel is so useful here. And cloth towel, if you have it, can you do that? And let it dry. It does maintain its adhesiveness. The tape does, so you can use it, as I showed you earlier. You can use it for it to stick to some other things. Now, how we can create a collage with this is a collaging workshop. This is, so I have this already. Back to this is what I have done. So I can put that on top of the two figures or overlap them to create some kinds of collages.
Wow.
And if you have if you want to do this on a plain piece of paper, on a white piece of paper, and decorate around it, you can also do that. You can add it to, for example, if I want a different background for this image, for the images here, if I want this kind of patterned background for one of them, for example, I can unlock. Look at that. So that it just gives it a different background, just like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So many directions you can go.
You can go so many directions. And also Lottie, I think I was sharing this with you. I received a package from a friend of mine, and it had pink tape on it. And of course, I carefully took the tape off of the package, and I was able to use it for transfer. So we can even try to use that colored tape to use.
Excellent.
For that. So that concludes the introduction of our work. It is not enough time to complete work, so I hope you can continue to explore ways of transferring and collaging images. These are my end products. I can cut them. I can shape them in different ways. Put them up on a window. You can make signs and things and put them on the window. This also works with inkjet printer. So if you want to print an image with your inkjet printer and then transfer it, you can also do that. All right, Letty, how are we feeling? How are folks feeling?
Yeah, I feel like folks have their fingers wet, and they're like busy making their masterpieces. So we're not getting too much in the chat, but we do
Okay.
encourage folks to type something in if you do get a minute, but we're good right now.
Okay. Okay. So what I would like to ask is for folks to share their work with us. I am so curious, and Lottie and I look at your work, and we'll write. We promise if you email it to us, we will share. We will share it with you. I'm trying to see if I can find the presentation for me. There we go. Please share it with us. Share your work with us. I would really appreciate to see your work. Take a photo of it and send it to us. And Lottie, I know you have something to share about this.
Yeah, we really appreciate you being here with us today. It means a lot to us that you're spending, your 45 minutes with us. It's, Thursday afternoon, we're headed into the weekend. And we hope you consider making a donation. It's really easy. You just text MoAD SF to 56512. And, it enables us to continue providing these awesome workshops for you all, and every little bit counts. So thanks so much for the consideration. And we're just happy to be with you here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lottie, again. And I see that Joe Allen, you're wondering if it's going to be recorded. It will be available on YouTube, so you can find it on YouTube. And thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you joined us today. See you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so much love from the chat.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Bye, Lottie.
Bye.